or belong to long form periodic table. Long form periodic table contains 118 elements. These 118 elements are classified into 4 blocks: S block elements, P block elements, D block elements, and F block elements based upon differentiating electron. So the elements in which the differentiating electron enters the s orbital, such kind of elements are known as s block elements. When you consider here s block elements, see here, for example, I am taking sodium atom. Its atomic number is 11. Electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 6, 3s1. So this is the first shell, this is second shell, and this is the third shell. Third shell is known as valency shell. Valency shell or outermost shell. Here the last electron is known as differentiating electron. Differentiating electron which is present in the s orbital. Hence the sodium atom is belong to s block. Based upon differentiating electron, all the elements are classified into 4 blocks. When the last electron present in s orbital, those are called s block. When the differentiating electron enters into p block. When the differentiating electron present in f orbital, which are called f block. So now we'll see the elements. What are the elements are here belong to s block. In the long form periodic table, first A group elements are belong to S block, which are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. At the same time, S block capacity is 2 electron, S orbital capacity is 2 electron, hence 2 groups are belong to S block. The second group is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. So first A group another name is alkali metals, and second A group another name is alkaline earth metals. So those two groups are belong to long form periodic table as the S block. For example, I am taking the first element lithium. Its atomic number is 3 and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. Here in second A group taking one more element, that is beryllium. Its atomic number is 4 and its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2. So this is the last shell. S orbital ends with 1 electron. Here also the last electron present in s orbital. So both the elements are belong to s block. That is the reason the first A group elements general electronic configuration is ns1 and the second A group general electronic configuration is ns2. Let us observe one by one individually the electronic configuration. Hence the s block elements general electronic configuration is ns1 to ns2 for s block combinedly. So when you observe the long form periodic table, the S block elements are extreme left hand side. This is a 1A and this is 2A. First A group, second A group. So where is S block elements in the periodic table? So these S block elements are extremely left hand side, which are arranged into 2 groups, 1A and 2A. 1A group elements, another name is alkali metals. 2A group, another name is alkaline earth metals. S block elements. What are the learning objects in this chapter? See here, students. Alkali metals we have. What are the topics are there? And as well as alkaline earth metals, what are the topics are there? We are going to see as per NCERT syllabus. First topic is electronic configuration. Occurrence, it means availability. Physical properties. Under the physical properties, we are going to learn atomic and ionic radius, ionization enthalpy, hydration enthalpy, and physical constants. Fourth one, uses of these elements, alkali metals. Chemical properties, fifth, learning object. Under the chemical properties, what are the chemical characteristic properties we are going to learn? Number one is reaction with air, reaction with water, reaction with hydrogen, reaction with halogen, reducing nature, and solution in liquid ammonia. So reaction with liquid ammonia. These are the chemical properties. And the sixth, salts of oxyacids. So these elements, when reacts with acids, you will get a oxyacids. Such kind of reactions also we are going to learn. And anomalous properties of lithium. Lithium, in each and every group, the first element can possess some different characteristic properties. That properties also we are going to learn. Diagonal relationship between lithium and magnesium. Biological importance of sodium and potassium. Compounds of alkali metals, means sodium carbonate, sodium chloride. So preparation and properties of some important compounds like sodium carbonate, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, and sodium hydrogen carbonate, and as well as biological importance of sodium and potassium, calcium oxide and calcium carbonate and their industrial uses, and biological importance of magnesium and calcium. So from 8th topic, 9th topic, and this topic, this 10th topic, these three, as per the new syllabus, we don't have. 2020-21 syllabus, biological importance of sodium and potassium is not there, and compounds of alkali metals also not there. So up to 7 only we are going to learn. We'll see one by one. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. These elements are known as alkali metals. So why these elements are known as alkali metals? When you observe here, francium is radioactive metal. So it's always disintegrate. It means emits alpha, beta, gamma radiations and changes its atomic weight. Hence, it involved in the radioactivity. This is not comes under alkali metals. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium are belong to alkali metals. Why these elements are called alkali metals? Why this name is came? As per the general electronic configuration, these elements are belong to 1A that we know in the long form periodic table. It is belong to first A group because all elements are having only one electron in the last shell. That is the reason all the elements are placed into 1A. But why these elements are called alkali metals? For example, I'm taking one metal sodium. When you place it in water, water formula is HOH, H2O. You will get it. This Na is reacts with OH. You will get NaOH plus H2, hydrogen gas. When you take the 2 moles, 2 NaOH will come. This is the balanced equation. So all the metals, when dissolved in water, they are forming bases. This bases, another name is alkali. So these elements forming alkalis. Hence, all these 1A group elements are termed as alkali metals. Because the reaction with water forms strong alkalis, bases. Sodium plus 2 water molecule, you will get a 2 NaOH plus H2. So it is exothermic reaction. Sodium is more and more active metal. It gives a lot of heat energy along with hydrogen. Alkali metals are not found in nature. So generally, all the alkali metals are more reactive. You won't get it individually. You cannot buy all these metals in supermarket simply. So these elements are available in the form of combined state. For example, when you want to get sodium, the sodium you will get it in the form of sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. But you won't get sodium. From the sodium carbonate, you have to extract the sodium. You have to separate the sodium. Or when you want to get sodium, either from sodium chloride, either from sodium sulfate. Like this, sodium will not get it individually. Not only sodium, all the metals. So that is the reason why our alkali metals are not found in nature. Means they are more reactive. When you place it in the atmospheric air, it is readily reacts with oxygen to form a sodium oxide. It won't be stable in individual. That is the reason these metals are stored in kerosene. See here, alkali metals have low ionization enthalpy values. Hence, they readily loses their valency electron and are highly reactive. Hence, in nature, they are not found in elemental state. Their ionization energies are less. That's the reason it loses one electron easily. Taking, for example, sodium. Sodium, atomic number 11, the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Always these elements loses this one electron. The amount of energy is required to remove the last electron, ionization energy. The ionization energy of all these elements is less because by lossing of this electron only it is considered as the last shell. Then sodium metal gets stability. So alkali metals have low ionization enthalpy values. Hence they readily lose their valence electron and have high reactive. Hence in nature they are not found in the elementary state. They are available in the combined state. Explain why can alkali and alkaline earth metals not be obtained by chemical reduction method. So this is also one of the most important question. Why alkali metals and as well as alkaline earth metals not available while conducting the chemical reduction process. For example, see here students, for example, copper oxide is there. Copper oxide when reacts with zinc, you will get it what? Zinc oxide plus copper. From copper oxide, I am getting copper. This is called reduction. Reduction. The zinc replaces copper. It is coming out. This is known as reduction. This type of method is not possible. For example, when you take Na2O, when you add any potassium or any other element, or when you want to add same zinc, the reaction will not continue because this is more and more active element. No one can replace this alkali metals. They are having high reduction potential. That is the reason the sodium metal is not at all replaced by other metal, so that we cannot get the sodium metal by simple reduction. See here the answer. Alkali metals and alkaline earth metals having high reduction potentials. Hence, they are very strong reducing agents. Hence, other reducing agents cannot reduce oxides or other compounds of alkali and alkaline earth metals. Hence, chemical reduction is not possible. So, none of the other metal cannot replace sodium from sodium oxide. That's the reason we cannot get the sodium metal by the reduction method. Now, the next topic, as per we mentioned the characteristic properties, the first one is electronic configuration. What is the general electronic configuration of alkali metals? That we know already, we discussed that the general electronic configuration of alkali metals is NS1. NS1. Lithium 1s2, 2s2, So 1s2, 2s1. This is the electronic configuration of lithium. With respect to the helium, with respect to inert gas, we no need to write 1s2. Directly we are writing helium within the bracket and 2s1. This I am representing. Both the methods are right only. Now the second element is sodium. Its atomic number is 11 and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3. So this we can represent 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 indicates sodium. So that I am writing the electronic configuration with respect to the neon. Neon is 10. So atomic number is 11. So that neon 3s1. Neon indicates 10, 3s1. Second one, potassium. Potassium atomic number is 19. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1. So up to 3s2, 3p6, it indicates argon electronic configuration. You can write with respect to the argon. Actually, the potassium is 19, argon atomic number is 18. So 18 plus 1, 19, argon core 4s1. And then rubidium, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 4p6, and then 5s1. Its atomic number is 37. The nearest noble gas is the krypton. So krypton atomic number is 36. After is 37. Rubidium, with respect to the inert gas configuration, krypton core 5s1. Finally, cesium, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p6, 4d10, 5s2, 5p6, and 6s1. This is the general electronic configuration of cesium. The cesium nearest noble gas is xenon. Xenon is 55. We can write with the xenon configuration 6s1. Xenon atomic number is 54. Cesium atomic number is 55. That is the reason xenon core 6s1. Finally, francium, it is a radioactive element. With respect to radon, directly I am writing radon core 7s1. This is about the electronic configuration. When you observe the electronic configuration of all alkali metals, the last shell contains one electron, 2s1, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1, 6s1, 7s1. That is the reason the general electronic configuration of alkali metals is NS1. N will be changed. 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s. The outer electronic configuration of alkali metals is NS1. They have only one electron in outermost shell. Coming to the next topic, occurrence. How the alkali metals are available in the Earth's atmosphere, that we are going to see here. Now, one is sodium and potassium are most abundant elements in this group. Lithium, radium, and cesium have lower abundance in this group. Francium is highly radioactive. It is short-lived isotope 223 francium. Half of this isotope is only 21 minutes and it's alpha emitter. The loosely held s electron in the outermost valence shell of these elements make them most electropositive metal by lossing of electron. They readily lost electron to give monovalent M plus ion and hence are not found in nature. Yes, all the elements by lossing of one electron, Na, by loss of one electron, this Na is changed into Na plus. This Na means metal, I am writing with M. When it losses one electron, the M is changed into M plus. This is M plus. So monocation. So one positive cation are formed by the lossing of electrons. Sodium occurs mainly as sodium chloride salt. This is our table salt in our day-to-day life. We are using every day. In seawater and dried up sea beds. Potassium is more widely distributed in minerals such as sylvine. The formula is KCl, but is also extracted from the seawater. So the alkali metals are so reactive they cannot be displaced by another element. So they are isolated by the electrolysis of their molten salts. Isolated means extraction. How it will be extraction means I am going to show you one reaction simply. For example, sodium chloride is there. When you place it into the water, that is dissolved. The dissolved state of sodium chloride is known as molten sodium chloride, aqueous sodium chloride. This aqueous sodium chloride, when you pass electric current, it is sodium is deposited cathode and chloride is deposited anode. Like this way, we are separating sodium and chlorine. That is the point mentioned in the seventh one. The alkali metals are so reactive, they cannot be displaced by another element. But so they are isolated by the electrolysis. This is called electrolysis. Next topic is physical properties. What are the physical properties? As per the syllabus, we are going to discuss. Number one is atomic radius. Atomic radius means what? The distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell. For example, this is the nucleus, this is the first shell, and this is second shell. This is the last shell. When you say the distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell is known as atomic radius or atomic size. So this is the size of this atom. When you want to take one more atom, this atom atomic size means center of the nucleus to outermost shell. This is the atomic radius. So in what way the atomic radius from top to bottom in alkali metals, that we will see. These are all the physical properties we are going to see one by one. All the alkali metals are silvery white solids. These are soft in nature and can cut with the help of a knife except the lithium. All are soft metals. We can cut with a knife like a cake. When freshly cut, they have a bright luster which quickly fades due to the surface of oxidation. When you cut the element, the surface area, wherever you cut the element, the surface area becomes silvery white. But in the exposure to the atmospheric air, it is quickly, the color will be changed. That is called oxidation. These are highly malleable and ductile. All metals are malleable and ductile. That we studied the properties of metals. And these silvery luster of alkali metals is due to the presence of highly mobile electron of the metallic lattice. So here one point I am explaining, the silvery luster of alkali metals, all are a shining, a luster is there. This is because of presence of one electron. This one electron is float in a entire whole metal. For example, a sodium metal, when you take, this is the sodium. By loss of electron, this electron is come. This is the sodium ion. The electron is coming out. This is the sodium ion. The electron is coming out. So this electron is floating on the sea. This is the sodium metal. Sodium metal, the availability of electron is there. That is the reason it conducts electricity. Because of this reason, it is showing a luster nature. There are being only a single electron per atom. The metallic bond is not so strong. As a result, the metals are soft in nature. However, the softness increases with increase in atomic number. So the metallic bond is very weak. Metallic bond means metal to metal. The bond is very weak. When you want to take, for example, this much size of metal, here the sodium is there. This is the sodium. And here also one more sodium is there. This sodium and this sodium, almost all the attraction is very weak, because when it loses electron, it gets plus charge with minus charge. This minus charge attracts plus charge and plus charge attracts charge. While moving down from top to bottom, the last element is cesium. The cesium atomic size is very bigger. When it loses electron, it gets positive charge and electron is having minus charge. When you take one more cesium, it loses, it is also very big by losing of electron, minus charge and plus charge. So here minus and plus attracts each other. Here minus and plus attracts each other. Because of this reason, the metal and metal gets a weakly attraction force that is called here the metallic bond. So while moving from top to bottom, the metallic bond here, the metallic bonding is not as strong. As a result, the metals are soft in nature. However, the softness increases with increase in atomic number. So this electron we can gets easily because of the larger atomic size. So it is more softness. While comparing with this metal, this is the smaller size. Here the ionization energy is high comparing with this. So that's the reason which is more soft metal means cesium is the most soft metal. Softness is increases. Due to the continuous decrease in metallic bond strength on account of increase in atomic size. So these are the metals, silvery white and shiny luster nature metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium is radioactive metal. Let us see the properties one by one. Atomic radius. When you observe the atomic radius in the long form periodic table, that to be alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium, francium, the atomic radius are gradually increases. In this group, the smallest element is lithium and the biggest element is cesium and francium. Among all 118 elements, cesium and francium is the largest elements in the long form periodic table. The atoms of alkali metals have the largest size in their respective periods. When you take any period, the first element is the largest size. We are studied in the periodic table lesson. For example, when you take any period, I am taking one period, lithium, after that will come beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. Each and every period start with alkali metal and ends with alkaline earth metal, ends with inert gas. So here in any period, the first element is bigger in size, the last element is smaller in size. In any period from left to right, the atomic sizes are decreases. Atomic sizes gradually decreases. So our topic is 1A group. That's the reason I am mentioning one point here. The atoms of alkali metals have the largest size in their respective period. This respective period is what? Second period. This respective period, lithium is a large metal. And third period, sodium is there. Sodium is the largest element. When you observe here the atomic radius, exactly look like this. The atomic radius is gradually increases from top to bottom. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium. When you see the experimental evidence, the values also have given here. Here the 1.23 angstroms, the lithium atomic radius. When you come to the cesium, 2.35 angstroms. Reason why the atomic radius increases from top to bottom. Now only I tell you, my dear students, lithium is what ma 2s1, last configuration, and sodium is what ma 3s1, and this is 4s1, this is 5s1, and this is 6s1. It means it has two shells. Yes, this element is having three shells like that. While moving down top to bottom, cesium atom is having 6 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Atomic radius means the distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell. So you can observe clearly from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. What is main reason? Adding of extra shell. Adding of extra shell. We'll see one by one. On moving down the group, a new shell is progressively added. Addition of new shells and increasing screening effect. Hence, the atomic size increases in a group. These are act as a screens. Screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, screen 4, screen 5, screen 6. Due to the screening effect, this nuclear attraction force is very less on this electron because more screens are there. Screening effect is high. Alkali metals changes into positively charged ions by lossing of their valence electron. By loss of one electron, lithium changes into lithium ion, sodium changes into sodium ion, potassium changes into potassium ion, rubidium changes into rubidium ion, and cesium changes into cesium cation. These are called cation. Cation's radius is known as cationic radius. How it will be, I am going to show you. Once again, see, for example, I am taking sodium. No? You know very well about the sodium. Its atomic number is 11. And I am writing the electronic configuration with respect to the noble gas, neon. Its atomic number is 10. S 3s1. So this sodium is having 3 shells. Nucleus, first shell, second shell, and third shell. Atomic radius means the distance between center of the nucleus to outermost shell. When I remove this electron, when I remove this one electron, now the atomic number is going to change into only 10. For example, sodium, atomic number 11. I am removing one electron. Sodium changed into sodium cation. Its atomic number is 10 only. Now 10 means what is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. It is having only 2 shells. Now I am drawing the structure. First shell and second shell. This is sodium ion. This is sodium atom. Which is bigger in size, my dear students? This is sodium atom. There is no charge. Sodium atom is bigger in size because it have 3 shells. Sodium ion having only 2 shells, it is have less atomic size. Anyhow, what is the ionic radius of sodium ion? Means the distance between center of the nucleus to second shell itself only. What is the atomic radius? Means the center of the nucleus to third shell. This is atomic radius. This is ionic radius. I hope you understand difference between atomic radius and ionic radius. When you observe the ionic radius also in this group, from top to bottom is gradually increases. Lithium cation is 0.68 angstroms, but the cesium cation is 1.67 angstroms. Within the group, the ionic radius increases with increase in atomic number. Like this, lithium is smaller than sodium, potassium, rubidium is smaller than cesium, than francium. The alkali metal ions get extensively hydrated in aqueous solutions. Smaller the ion is, more the extent of degree of hydration. Very important point. See here, when you observe the ionic radius, which is the smallest ion here, lithium is the smallest ion. Smaller cation is always having higher hydration energy, higher hydration enthalpy. What is hydration, sir? When you see the hydration means, when you place the sodium metal in the water, the sodium metal loses one electron, that you know, get positive charge. This positively charged cation absorbs water molecule. You know the water molecule is H2O. This is a water molecule. Oxygen actually is negatively charged. This is partial positive. This is partial positive. This is getting partial negative charge. Negative charge. So this partial negative and this is a positive charge. It is having a attraction force. That is the reason this sodium holds the water molecule. Like this in water, many water molecules are there. Thousands of water molecules are there. Like this sodium holds water molecules like a cluster. Like this. Oxygen, H2O, Here oxygen, H2O. So sodium attracts oxygen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. So in this way, the smaller sodium atom is, while holding the water molecule, it is look like entire this big molecule. This is the very big molecule. Like this, while comparing with sodium, lithium is very small. Lithium ion. See here. During the smaller atom, its nuclear attraction force is high. The attraction force of nucleus is very great. That is the reason, while comparing with sodium, lithium can hold more number of water molecules. Lithium can hold more number of water molecules. So this is more number of water molecules. That's the reason the size of the lithium ion is great in the water. Here, the size of the sodium ion, while comparing with lithium, hydrated lithium, it is less. So this is a very big molecule. The nuclear attraction force is very less. That's the reason a very few number of H2O molecules only holds this cesium ion. So based upon the attraction force of the nucleus, the hydration energy is increases. The attraction increases, hydration energy increases. Hydration energy means the amount of energy is released when a 1 mole of ion crystal is formed here. So here this nucleus is attracts water. While attracting this water, while holding this water, some heat energy is released. That released heat energy name only termed as hydration energy. Hydration means adding of water. When water attached to the ions at that particular time, some amount of heat energy is released when it is depends upon the number of water molecules. The more number of water molecules are added to the cation, more amount of heat energy is released. So that the hydration energy is gradually increases or decreases. It is having high hydration energy because of more number of water molecules are attract to this lithium ion, but cesium is having low hydration energy. So that point only I am explaining here. The alkali metal ions gets extensively hydrated in aqueous solution. Yes, fine. Smaller the ion is more the extent of degree of hydration. Okay, this is about atomic radius and hydration energy. I'm going to stop it this year, my dear students. Tomorrow we'll continue the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye, everyone.